Hey everybody, this is Charles Calhoun, aka the Shade Tree Pro. I'm still down here in Naples, Florida, getting ready to head back up the way in just a moment. Yesterday I played in my first Champions Tour pre-qualifier. An amazing experience, and just a really good time. Now, I've got something here for you. My word of the day here is going to be serendipitous. Serendipitous is like the meaning is something you just never know exactly when something is just gonna just come out of the blue and you be surprised to go, So now yesterday, now I want to tell people this, is that I came to this golf tournament with absolutely no expectations. I know I've got a lot of buddies, that play a lot of tournament golf and say, hey, you do this, you gotta do that, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. But I really didn't want any real people's real opinions and expectations of what I should do, this or that. I didn't really want that because I wanted to come in, kind of like a word in psychology, tasse rase, meaning blank slate. I wanted to be able to be clear in my own thinking and build because, as I said, my goal is to play in a Champions Tour event. That'll cap off my golfing career, just to have my name on that to play in one actual event, and I'm gonna get that. But the thing is that I wanted to come in, and build my own expectations. Do I have the right shots down? Do I have this? Now this is going to continue to make me a better teacher. So when I go to my students, I say, okay, look, this is what happened. And if you're going to play some high level golf, you need such and such and such. Well, as I said in the word serendipitous, I had one of those serendipitous moments. Now, the whole purpose of the pre-qualifier in itself is that they take 5 people. And I don't care who, what, when, and where. If you're not one of those 5 people, the rest doesn't matter. So you need to get the best out of your round that you possibly can and get the best experience that you possibly can. Being that this was one of my first ones that I ever done, don't get me wrong, I've played in tournaments before and I've won tournaments. The only thing it is that this was another level of, of just good players, that I'm not even on tour, but just good players. So it was a gentleman in my group, I was just watching him. He ended up shooting 69, and I think he may have gotten through, I haven't checked to see, but man, I just watched him. He was just a ball striking Jesse. He could just hit that ball, and I was watching how he was doing it. And being that, as a teacher that I am, I'm looking and I'm evaluating and such, because by this time, I knew I wasn't going to get through. So what am I going to just stand there and just pout, put my thumb in my mouth or whatever and cry about it? No. I'm a teacher. I'm going to learn. I wanted to see, because there was another gentleman in my group, that was 69 years old, played in all kinds of these Monday qualifiers. So, so I'm watching and listening and talking. And as well, he could hit the ball, he really could hit them irons. Something that I was very weak with my short irons. And I needed to understand why. What is it? Playing down in South Florida, it's a little bit different down here. Winds up a little bit, the where we were at, the fairways were just like going from, I guess you want to say, the plush fairways of Marriott down to kind of just playing just kind of like hard pan. The fairways were really hard. The ball was running out like crazy, so it required a certain type of shot. And on those golf courses like that, and I don't want to say necessarily that I struggled. It's just I know that they require a smashing, trapping of the ball, which is not one of my favorite shots. And, I play better when the ball was on, nice grass or all that, maybe because my means put me in a nice position where I can play really good golf courses, but that's another story. But it is a shot that I don't have. One of my buddies, Tony, Tony Johnson is a hell of a ball striker. And, and those kind of golf courses, he played well on, because he traps that ball so nicely. And then that reminded me, as I'm watching this guy and the other guy, man, they were trapping that ball so nicely. And I was like, okay, and it's just piercing through the wind. So it got me thinking about even a lot of guys on tour that play golf for, 15, 10, 20 years, and 20 years on the PGA Tour, then on to the Champions Tour, small guys, big guys, little guys. And just like, are these guys getting lucky? Being that it's Black History Month, I say the laws of averages, a lot of us, maybe should be there if you just look at the statistics of the laws of average or whatever. But the thing is, it's a golf shot. It's a golf shot that these cats are hitting. They are hitting this ball, whether it's the old school G's that taught them, back at the country clubs or whatever, that you need to hit this, whether it came from the Hogans, the teachers that are the old or whatever, whether they know it or not, the real shot that you're hitting, you got to learn how to trap the golf ball. And once you learn how to trap the golf ball, then you learn how to develop your own kind of control skills or whatever to be able to do it. But every shot that you're hitting with an iron is basically a trap. And one of the things that I do is that, coming from West Virginia and growing up in the grass that we play, I've always been kind of a sweeper. And there's certain golf courses that sweeping don't work. This was one of them, and I kind of got exposed with my short irons. And I've actually realized that my top-down philosophy is actually teaching me how to be able to come down and be more of a striker, but yet in a part of me is still have that little bit of sweeping in me. Now you'll notice in my videos that I really get down and I start striking it, but still my mind still feels like I'm a little bit of a sweeper. And reason being, because there's a shot that I realized that, hey, I don't know this shot. I don't know exactly how to hit this shot. So when I reached about the 7th hole, I started watching this guy. I said, I'm going to get the best out of my round. I paid for it. So I start really, really watching how are these guys hitting this trap shot? How are they hitting it? Because that bam, bam. And I was like, how are they hitting this trap shot? Because it was a little different than what I thought. Not a punch shot. I can hit a punch shot. But this is a trap shot that goes fully through. So I start paying attention. I start watching these guys. And I was like, this is interesting. So as I progressed from the 7th hole, I said, okay, I'm going to learn this shot. So why not take the opportunity while you're in the heat of the battle, you're in a real event, you're in an event that matters. You can't just pick your ball up and put it in your pocket. You got to play it out. You got to put the score down, all of this. Why not learn to hit that shot under those conditions? So from the 7th hole on, I kept trying to hit. I wasn't caring what my score was. And then I get to 15. At 15, I had 133 out, wind blowing left to right, a little bit down. I take my pitching wedge out, and I finally hit that trap draw. Bam! I felt it. I saw it. And that thing just turned in so pretty. And that right there, that was my round. That was the beauty of my round. That right there was worth every single moment that I've practiced, that I've gotten down here to Florida, it was that serendipitous moment that basically in my mind, it feels like I changed everything. From my teaching, from my playing, everything, because it was a shot that I have no problem admitting it was not one of my shots. My boy Tony Johnson, he'll tell you, I told him, I said, Tony, I can't hit that shot, and I don't know why. And everybody keeps saying you do this and do that, and I've done all this and I've done that. That ain't how you hit the shot. I finally figured out how to hit the shot. That's the beauty of it. So that's the only score in my mind that matters, is that I got out of this exactly what I was looking for. And that was the beauty of having a great time, staying professional, being cool, calm, and collected. My name mentioned coming off of that, standing up on that first tee. It was just beautiful and gorgeous. And in the process of being a professional, remaining professional, having that class and that dignity, whether it's the golf gods or not, you know, because they like top down too, because you got to remember the good Lord have to look down on you. He ain't looking up at you. You know, that's the devil. But the good Lord looks from the top down as well. So that's another reason top down is good. But what it showed me is that top down is a hit. It is a bam. It is a strike. It is a to get the job done. So people, like I said, this is my first pre-qualifier of the Champions Tour. It was fun. I am definitely getting back into playing a little bit more tournament golf. I'm looking forward to it. You know, I look, like my boy Don Wright said, hey man, you know what, Shade Tree, he said, man, you know what? You've earned your right to do this, and you're right. You know, my bank's nice, you know, wife's good, kids good. Now, you know, I built me a nice little empire, you know, and hey, and like Snoop Dogg said, I would like to thank me for all the success that I've had. You know how that goes, and life goes on. But anyway, like I said, it was a great time. You know, I got my young lady Amber coming down here. You know, we got to get ready for the Jim Thorpe. You know, Joey's doing what he needs to do to get ready. But I know one thing, when they get down here, especially Amber, you know, when I show her this shot, I'll show her why, you know, in the winds of West Texas, how they know how to keep that ball down and hit greens. Hey, this is Charles Calhoun, a.k.a. the Shade Tree Pro. Hey, coming to you. Hey, I'm in Naples, Florida, baby, and always good golfing.